There's a man out there right now, no smarter than you, no better than you, but he's taking your future. While you sit there hesitating, waiting for the right moment, he's making moves. He's getting richer, he's getting stronger, he's taking everything that could be yours. And when you wake up in 5 years, broke, invisible, forgotten, you'll have no one to blame but yourself. Because the truth is, the world doesn't care about you. It only rewards the bold. So tell me, are you ready to stop being a spectator in your own life? Or are you going to keep watching other men take what you were too scared to claim? You feel it, don't you? That gnawing, suffocating fear in the back of your mind, the one that whispers, what if I never make it? What if I waste my life? And let me tell you something, you should be afraid, because every second you sit there, another man is stealing your destiny. He's making the money you should be making. He's living in the house you should own. He's driving the car you dream about. And the worst part, he's no better than you. The only difference, he took the risk and you didn't. And if you don't act now, if you don't make the decision to take control, you will lose forever. There are no second chances. There is no later. There is only now. And if you don't move, you'll be left behind. Listen, I don't care who you are, where you're from, or what excuses you've been telling yourself. If you're broke, fat, weak, depressed, or invisible to the world, that's your fault. No one is coming to save you. No one gives a damn. And if you think life is going to hand you success because you deserve it, you're already finished. Every single winner on this planet has felt exactly like you. Tired, unmotivated, stressed. But here's the difference. They kept going. They didn't sit around crying about how unfair life is. They saw the problem and they fixed it. Winners take action, losers make excuses. It really is that simple. You complain about stress. Stress is a gift. Stress is what sharpens the blade. Stress is what separates the weak from the powerful. The moment you start seeing stress as an enemy is the moment you accept a loser's fate. The weak fear stress, but the strong, we chase it. Because we understand pressure creates diamonds. You've been lied to your entire life. You were told that happiness is the goal. You were told that life should be easy, stress-free, comfortable, bulls. The men who built empires, conquered nations, and left their mark on history, do you think they were chasing happiness? No, they were chasing greatness. They were chasing power. They were chasing something bigger than themselves. But you wake up every morning complaining, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I don't feel like it today. Shut up. Do you think the lions wake up and say, I don't feel like hunting today? No, because the second they stop hunting, they die. That's the reality of life. You hunt or you starve. You fight or you lose. You dominate. You want an easy life? You were born to lose. Do you think Alexander the Great wanted an easy life? Genghis Khan? The men who shaped history didn't sit around looking for comfort. They woke up every day ready for war. The truth is, life is war. You're at war with yourself. You're at war with weakness. You're at war with every man who wants what you want. And if you're not fighting, you're already losing. But Tate, I'm depressed. I don't care. Everyone feels down sometimes. I've been locked in a jail cell, attacked by governments, had everything ripped away from me, and I still get up and fight. What's your excuse? The difference between a winner and a loser isn't that the winner never feels bad. It's that he doesn't let it stop him. You're sitting there feeling sorry for yourself while the world takes everything from you. The system wants you weak. It wants you distracted. It wants you crying over your pathetic life instead of standing up and fixing it. And you're letting them win. Let me tell you something. No one cares about your problems. No one cares about your struggles. The only thing that matters in this world is whether you win or lose. And right now, you're losing. The good news? You can change that. But only if you wake up. Only if you realize that no one is coming to help you. You must become your own hero. You must wake up every morning with a mission to conquer, to dominate, to build the life you deserve. You can choose discipline or you can choose regret. One will make you a king, the other will make you a nobody. The choice is yours. Let me tell you a story, a real story. One that no school, no weak society, and no soft influencer will ever tell you because they don't want you to hear it. Once upon a time, there were two men. Both were born with nothing. No handouts, no shortcuts, no safety nets. They grew up in the same streets, faced the same struggles, saw the same opportunities. But one of them dared to take risks. The other, he played it safe. The first man looked at the world and said, everything is mine. I just haven't taken it yet. He saw the risks. He knew he could fail. He knew he could lose. He knew the path wouldn't be easy, but he went forward anyway because he understood the truth about life. No one gets rewarded for standing still. The second man, he feared risk. He feared loss. He stayed in his comfort zone, playing life like a game of chess, but never moving his pieces. He convinced himself that waiting was the answer, that maybe one day success would fall into his lap. It never did. Years passed. The first man, through trial, through hardship, through pure unbreakable will, built an empire. He became the kind of man that others admire, respect, even fear. He took what he wanted. He created his own destiny. The second man, he became just another face in the crowd, forgotten, irrelevant, living paycheck to paycheck, watching others live the life he once dreamed of, all because he was afraid to take a risk. And that's exactly where you are right now. You stand at a crossroads. One path leads to power, wealth, respect, but it's a path built on risk. The other path, safety, mediocrity, a life of being ignored and overlooked. And that's the real risk. Think about this. What's more dangerous? Trying and failing, or never trying at all and living with regret for the rest of your life? Failure is temporary, regret is forever. People always ask me, Tate, what if I take a risk and lose? I say, then you get back up. That's the game. You don't win by avoiding the fight. You win by taking the hits, learning from them, and coming back stronger. And let's be clear, there is no such thing as a man who wins without risk. Look at the history books. Look at the billionaires, the kings, the warriors, the champions. Every single one of them bet on themselves. Every single one of them had moments where they could have lost everything. But here's where the story gets real. The men who refuse to risk always end up serving the men who do. That's the law of the world. The weak work for the strong. The fearful serve the brave. And every day you delay, every day you hesitate, you are making a choice. You are choosing to be a servant. No one is forcing you to be weak. You are choosing it. So ask yourself, are you the man who takes what he wants? Or are you the man who watches from the sidelines while someone else lives the life you could have had? Because the clock is ticking, and if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day too late. Let me ask you a question. How much time do you think you have? Because I'll tell you right now, you don't have as much as you think. Every second that ticks by is a second closer to your death. That's not fear-mongering. That's reality. You are going to die. And when you do, what will they say about you? Will they say you were a king, a warrior, a man who risked everything and took what he wanted? Or will they say he could have been great, but he was too scared? That fear you feel right now, the fear of taking a risk, the fear of stepping outside your comfort zone, it's nothing compared to the fear you'll feel on your deathbed, realizing you wasted your life. Regret is the most painful thing a man can experience. More painful than failure, more painful than struggle, because regret is permanent. You can recover from failure. You can rebuild after a loss. But you can never get back the years you wasted being weak, being afraid, being nothing. And let me be clear, no one is coming to save you. The world does not care about your excuses. It does not care about your feelings. You think life is unfair? Good, it is. You think people are born into better situations than you? Of course they are. But sitting around crying about it won't change a damn thing. The world rewards the men who take action, the men who stop complaining and start conquering, the dominant ones. Tell me, who do you think runs the world? The scared little cowards who play it safe? Or the men who look risk in the eye and say, try me? Power doesn't go to the best. Power doesn't go to the smartest. Power goes to the boldest. You think billionaires got there by playing it safe? You think kings built empires by waiting for permission? No. They took what was theirs. They bet on themselves when everyone else was too afraid. But you're sitting here hesitating, thinking, overanalyzing, letting fear make your decisions for you. You need to understand something. Every day you hesitate, you lose. Every time you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, you are training your mind to be weak. You are reinforcing a habit of failure. And guess what? It gets worse over time. The more you avoid risk, the more afraid you become. The more comfortable you get, the weaker you are. And eventually you'll be so far gone that you won't even recognize yourself. I've seen it happen. Grown men, 40 years old, with nothing to show for their lives. No power, no money, no respect, just regret. And here's the worst part. They could have had everything. They could have been great. They could have had the cars, the women, the success, but they hesitated. They let fear win. And now they live a life of quiet desperation, watching other men take what they were too scared to claim. If that doesn't terrify you, then I don't know what will. You have two choices right now. You can keep living like a coward, pretending that things will magically get better, or you can wake up and take control. This is your one chance, your one life. Are you going to own it or are you going to waste it? Do you know what your biggest enemy is? Time. It's slipping away while you sit there overthinking, hesitating, making excuses. Every second you waste is a second you will never get back. And yet you still act like you have all the time in the world. You don't. Look around you. How many men do you know who had dreams but never took action? How many people said, one day I'll be successful, and now they're 40, broke, stuck in a miserable life with no way out? That's your future if you don't wake up. Fear is a disease, and it's killing you slowly. The worst part, you are letting it. You let fear control you every single day. You let fear stop you from speaking up, from taking risks, from becoming the man you were born to be. You let fear convince you that you're not good enough, that you should wait, that maybe next year will be your time. Next year's a lie. It doesn't exist. What exists is right now, this moment. The decision you make today determines whether you live a life of dominance or a life of regret. Let me ask you something. What happens if you don't change? What happens if you keep living exactly the way you are? I'll tell you what happens. You will wake up 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and you will hate yourself. You will see younger men surpass you. You will see people you once considered equals build empires while you rot in mediocrity. And the worst part, you will have no one to blame but yourself. Regret will eat you alive. You will look in the mirror and realize you wasted your best years being weak. And when that moment comes, it will be too late, because by then the young killers will have taken everything, the opportunities, the wealth, the power, and you'll be nothing. Just another forgotten man who could have been great but was too scared to act. Let that sink in. What do you think happens to men who refuse to take risks? I'll tell you, they become slaves. Not just in the physical sense, but mentally, emotionally, financially. They spend their lives serving the men who had the balls to take action. Every time you say, "I'll wait," you are making a choice. You are choosing to be a follower. You are choosing to be dominated. You are choosing to be at the mercy of stronger men. And that's the difference between winners and losers. A loser will sit there and say, "What if I fail?" A winner says, "What if I don't try?" A loser will say, "I'm not ready." A winner says, "I'll figure it out." A loser will wait for permission. A winner takes what's his. This world belongs to those who dare to claim it. You can either keep playing it safe, keep avoiding risks, keep pretending that your comfortable little life is good enough, or you can rise. And if you don't rise, then get comfortable being ruled, because the world doesn't care about cowards. It only remembers the men who were bold enough to take what they wanted. Every second you waste is another second someone else is taking what could have been yours. You think success is just sitting there waiting for you? It's being stolen while you hesitate. There is a man right now who is just as broke as you, just as lost as you, just as uncertain as you. And you know what he did? He acted. He didn't wait. He didn't ask for permission. He didn't sit around crying about how hard life is. He saw the opportunity and he took it. Now he's rich. Now he's powerful. Now he's living the life that could have been yours. And what are you doing? You're still waiting. Do you understand what that means? Every second you delay, another man gains an edge over you. He's training while you're resting. He's building his empire while you're making excuses. He's stacking cash while you're still thinking about getting started. And guess what? He will crush you, because that's the nature of this world. Kill or be killed. You either rise to power or you get trampled by the men who did. There is no in between. There is no middle ground. Winners and losers, kings and peasants. That's it. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good. That means you're finally waking up. Let me tell you what happens to men who refuse to take risks. They get used. You think playing it safe is the smart move? You think being cautious will protect you? It won't. It guarantees you lose. History has proven this over and over again. The weak get conquered. The fearful get enslaved. The hesitant get dominated. And the worst part, they don't even fight back. They just accept it. They become background characters in a world built by stronger men. Is that what you want? To be a nobody? To be a nameless, faceless cog in the machine? To be the man who once had potential but wasted it? Because let me tell you something. If you keep hesitating, that's exactly what you'll become. Your name will be forgotten. Your existence will mean nothing. You will have no legacy, no power, no impact, just another man who lived and died without ever taking his shot. And while you sit there wasting time, the killers are moving. The wolves are hunting. The men who understand what's at stake are taking over. You think life is unfair? Good. That means you finally see it for what it is. Life is a war, and the battlefield doesn't care about your feelings. It rewards the strongest. The question is, are you one of them? Or are you just another casualty waiting to happen? The pressure is real. The clock is ticking. You either rise now or you never rise at all. Enough talking, enough thinking, enough waiting. It's time to face the truth. Are you going to be a man of action, or are you going to keep living like a ghost? Because right now, that's what you are. A ghost. Unseen, unheard, forgotten. You exist, but you don't matter. No one respects you. No one fears you. No one even notices you. And that's your fault. You have spent years sitting on the sidelines, watching stronger men build empires while you waste time scrolling, playing video games, or making excuses. You keep saying, one day, I'll get serious. One day never comes. You either take action now or you never will. Because let me tell you something, every second you hesitate, another man is securing his place at the top. And if you're not willing to fight for your spot, then you don't deserve one. So here's the challenge, the real test. What are you going to do today? Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. You say you want success? Prove it. You say you want power? Take it. You say you want respect? Earn it. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more pretending that life will just hand you what you want. Get up, make a move, start building something, start creating a life where people look at you and say, that's a man who takes what he wants. Because the alternative, you stay exactly where you are. Weak, forgotten, irrelevant. And let me make this absolutely clear. If you walk away from this moment without taking action, you are a lost cause. This is the line in the sand. This is your moment. You either step forward or you fade into nothing. So what's it gonna be? Are you ready to take what's yours, or are you gonna keep pretending that you have time? The world belongs to those bold enough to claim it. And if you're not willing to step up, fight, and risk everything for the life you want, then you don't deserve it. Success doesn't wait for the hesitant. Power doesn't bow to the weak. Your time is now, not tomorrow, not someday, now. Either you rise and take control, or you stay where you are and let life crush you. Make your move, because in the end, there are only two types of men: those who take action and those who disappear. Which one are you?